Hey everyone, it's your girl Amanda Schaefer here, and here we are yet again with another Jelly Side Up review. Now just like last time, I'll be doing 3 installments per video. As of right now, I'll be talking about the ones that are currently out, and then when the others are out, I'll get into them as well. Alright, let's get down to business. First we have Mama's Cookies. When I saw the title of that, it made me crave cookies myself. Heck, I got plenty. Anyway, in this one, Chad's mother comes for a visit. That's right, Alice Chadwick visits Splash Mountain. Now, I should point out that it wasn't Chad's real-life mother appearing there. She was played by the same actress who portrayed Auntie M in The Wizard of Oz, Clara Blandick. Now, the reason for that was because Brer Sam said she couldn't find any good pictures of Alice herself. But it was still a good idea to picture a random actress to play a real-life person. Yeah, I like that. Anywho, while Chad was happy that his mother was visiting, her excitement kind of gets a little, how do I say, out of control. Because it seems like everything that Jeremy, Bert, and Chad were doing with her joining, they seemed to want everything done her way, which upset Chad. And sometimes our excitement gets the better of us when there's something amazing happening and you just can't contain your excitement. I can relate. It happens to me quite a few times, especially when I go to Disney World. Anyway, the Splash Games were coming up, and while Chad was adamant for her to leave, Jeremy and Bert are like, you wouldn't want your mother to miss the Splash Games, would you? And they were also willing to let her play in them. That's quite a treat. Not to Chad, it wasn't. Elsewhere, Patty takes the rare animals to a place called Glass Lake. And excuse me, sorry about that. And Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, and Brer Bear decided to go on a ski lift that is closed. And Patty's like, no, not a good idea. And I'm with Patty on that. If something is closed, then don't go there. Like, a store is closed, you shouldn't go to it. Well, after closing hours, you shouldn't go to those places, but yeah. And they actually tricked Patty into going onto the ski lift, saying we can take a picture while we sit on it. Patty was obliged with the idea, and once they got on, they start moving. I can't believe I fell for that, said Patty. And then at one point, the ski lift stops. And they all had to put their minds together to get off it safely. So they take off their clothes and make a rope out of it. But the ski lift moves again eventually. Yay! Back to the point of view with Chad's mother. Alice eventually realizes how she hurt her son when he was trying to say stuff. And she apologizes. She was just excited to spend the day with her boy. And so they made amends. Even better. And she spent the majority of the story calling Chad by his real name, David, because his real name is David Stewart Chadwick, and we know him as Chad Stewart because his real name seemed a little too fancy, like he said. When Patty and the Bears come back, Patty's like, "Sorry we missed your mother's visit, Chad." And I was like, hey, there's always next time, right? Alright. I got my favorite parts of each installment written on a piece of paper, which is what I normally do when I don't review in front of the computer. Alright, for this one, I said that I liked, Alice apologizing to Chad. And I actually said on the Wattpad book, I don't like moments where one person doesn't listen to the other. Annoys me so. Alright, that marks the end of this installment. Now we go on to Holy Birthday Cake. It's kind of like the other one, Holy Honey Pie, but in this case, birthday cake is in the title. And in this one, it's Patty's birthday! Yay! Happy birthday, Patty! And then she mentions how she never had a birthday party. So Bert, Brer Fox, and Brer Rabbit put their heads together to give Patty the perfect party. And they have to keep her away long enough to plan the surprise. Because you know what they say, the best kind of prize is a surprise. Wait, that wasn't Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Silly me. The actual thing is, the best kind of gift is a surprise gift. And I've got quite a few of those on Wattpad. Anyway. Elsewhere, a volleyball tournament is happening between Chad, Jeremy, and Brer Bear, and then Brer Bear gets injured. But then we eventually find out he faked his injury. You don't do that. I've seen people fake being sick, but faking an injury? That's extreme. Speaking of, when Chad finds out that Brer Bear faked his injury, Brer Bear decides to encourage Chad to fake an injury. Chad refuses to do so, but eventually, he does. Back to the point of view with the party, we had a few party crashers. The first was Monstro the Whale from Pinocchio. Ugh. He legit terrified me when I was little. He doesn't scare me anymore, but still. Ugh. And it's no wonder all the creatures of the sea get scared whenever his name is mentioned. Like when Pinocchio and Jiminy Cricket, they wanted to know where Monstro was, and right when they mentioned his name, the sea creatures just fled. Well, obviously, he's the most feared creature in the ocean, so it's no wonder they all swam away. Swim away, like the krill said in Finding Nemo. Anyway, Monstro wasn't the only party crasher. The other was Tick Tock Croc from Peter Pan. And you know how much he likes to try to go after Captain Hook, ever since Peter cut off his hand and threw it to him. "Licking his chops for the rest of me," says Captain Hook. I never feared Tick Tock Croc. I thought he was hilarious. Eventually, Bert, Brer Fox, and Brer Rabbit surprise Patty, and then they get chased by Monstro. Do parties often involve a whale chase? Patty asked. No, Patty, they don't. And we mustn't forget, Patty had quite a surprise after the chase. Dropping in was Ray Bulger, aka the Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz. His first appearance since Headless Horsemeat. Him coming by and wishing Patty a happy birthday wasn't the only gift he said he had for her. He had decided to move into Splash Mountain and live there. And I say, welcome. Rare Sam actually asked me how I felt about that happening at some point down the line, and I thought it was an excellent idea. Alright, my favorite part of that one. Oh yes, Ray surprising Patty. Ah yes, I love that part. Definitely my favorite. Now we go to the current installment, and I was lucky enough to watch it before I left for vacation, and that would be Spirit Shake. Now in the beginning, all the residents of Splash Mountain are welcoming Ray as their newest resident themselves. And then they say that there was going to be a choosing. Well, actually, it's more of a tradition. The Splash Guardian Spirit Stick. They would throw it in the air, and whoever catches it is the Guardian. Patty had it. And it was also said that anybody who lets go of the stick, bad luck will come their way. And Patty was the only one who didn't believe in bad luck. That is, until a few bad things happened to her. Yeah, a lot of craziness happened with the bad luck happening to anybody who lets go of the stick. Elsewhere, Chad had to take a swimming test. And Brer Bear and Bert were competing, or arguing, about who should be Chad's teacher. And in my honest opinion, I thought Bert was a better fit for teaching Chad how to swim. And even though I know how to swim, I wasn't a big fan of taking tests, though I'm aware that they need to be taken if you want to learn how to properly swim. So rather than just complain about it, I'm like, okay, suck it up and take the test. Alright, let's get back on track. So even after those who had the spirit stick gave it up and had the bad luck coming their way, they went to whoever had the stick, and they wanted it back. And things really took a negative turn when the whole background became stormy. You can hear thunder, strong wind blowing, and the only way for all that to stop, the people who were hit with the bad luck had to make a sacrifice. Meaning, they say, I sacrifice my favorite teddy bear or something like that. None of them had a teddy bear, but that was just an example. So they would have to give up some objects they had in their possessions, and sacrificing them so the whole mess could be over. And even after the sacrifices, it stopped storming. And I should tell you, I am not a big fan of thunderstorms. Because that was the first thing we heard before the whole background got windy. I was legit terrified of thunderstorms when I was little. Like, I'm still scared of them at my age today, but I don't scream at them. I just get this really uncomfortable feeling. Anyway. Once everything turned back to normal, everyone was still in one piece, which was great. Alright, favorite part of this one. I wrote down bench butt, because right when I heard that, I could not stop laughing. It just sounded funny. And I should tell you, I have that type of sense of humor, where if I read something that makes me laugh, I know it's automatically funny. Alright, that about wraps up this review. But once again, I'll be getting into the rest once they're out and ready. So in the meantime, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Toodles!